Advice for sitting on someone's face as a big girl. How do I know if my vagina looks weird compared to others? Why do you feel like you're not the perfect bisexual? I have something very exciting to show you guys. And it's right behind this door. Hey! I am a brand new foster mom to two precious 8-week-old kids. This little girl right here in my arms is Chirp. She is so cute, so sweet, so cuddly, and she currently has diarrhea, which is why I'm holding her with a paper towel just in case Miss Girl has an accident. Oh, she is purring so loud, I wish you guys could hear it. And then I've also got Roar. I've been calling her Aurora, her full government name, who is also very much a sweetie, but she's also crazy. Yeah, you got a crazy streak in you, girl. I know you, I see you. I thought it would be good for my mental health to be surrounded by some baby kittens. So that's what I'm doing. I applied to foster like a month ago, and then I heard back randomly last Friday, and then 24 hours later, I had these beautiful, sweet little kittens in my bathroom. Mango definitely knows they're here, but I haven't introduced them. One, because they're so young and they're a little sick right now. And two, if you know a thing or two about cats, you're supposed to keep them separate and slowly introduce them if you're going to do that. So we'll see. Depends how long they stay here. Mango doesn't seem too concerned about what's behind the bathroom door right now though, I'll be honest. You know, it's been a minute since we just sat down, had a little chat, girl talk, sleepover, let's do our makeup and talk about the nitty gritty. Let's get into it here. So I've got my makeup, and I asked you guys over on Instagram to drop me your juiciest, most TMI questions about sex, bodies, and being the hot bitch you always knew you were. I always start by doing my brows, and I'm using the Kosas Air Brow Eyebrow Gel. In what shade? I have no idea. Is a guy asking for your body count early on a red flag? How old are we? Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I would jump to say that all adults think that the topic of body count is sort of a ridiculous topic in the first place. And if you know an adult that thinks it's not a ridiculous topic, perhaps they haven't grown up yet. I have never known a person that's worth my time to care about things like that. Let me put it that way. Even when I was in college and this topic would come up, I would always roll my fucking eyes at the people that were asking. And now that I'm older, it just doesn't come up. Or if it has come up, it was like well into the duration of us seeing each other and knowing each other, and it wasn't in like a I need to know because it's important kind of way, and more in like a just out of curiosity kind of way. But if anyone's asking you this as like a way of vetting you early on in dating, yeah, that's a red flag. Next up, I've got the Kosas Revealer Concealer. Isn't this dress so friggin' cute? By the way, it's Teddy Fresh, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm gonna be wearing it all spring and all goddamn summer. Advice for sitting on someone's face as a big girl. It's funny because there were quite a few submissions in the box from other plus size women being like, I'm afraid I'm gonna crush this man. I'm afraid I'm gonna suffocate this man. But here's the thing, besties. That's kind of the beauty of it. I mean, if you're to the point of having sex with someone, clearly they're attracted to you. Clearly they like you. Clearly they wanna be with you. Clearly they'd be pretty fucking lucky and excited and blessed to be on the underside of a plus size woman being suffocated by her thighs. Are you kidding me? People dream of being in that very location. Let us not forget that. Have you considered that they want to be suffocated? Don't let your insecurities convince you that what you are isn't super sexy and desirable to the person you're hooking up with. Listen, you are fucking. You're already there, okay? You're naked, you're in bed. They want to see you like that. They want to be in that position underneath you. So my advice is just to commit. Grind on that bitch's face, okay? You need to ride it. Listen, it's fun. Let yourself have fun. Let yourself feel powerful. Let them indulge in you. What a treat it is to have so much to love on. Also, like, I really cannot stress enough how much this is part of the appeal. It's like a weighted blanket. It's good. It's a good thing. Next, I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Encourage. I was talking about this on my podcast a few weeks ago, but there is this porn video that I found that I have been obsessed with recently. I rarely rewatch porn that I find. This is an exception for me. I do feel like in another life, I was supposed to be paid for all of the porn concepts my brain conjures up, because I really have so many of them. I just feel like so much of porn is not catering to my specific desires, and it should. And I would like it if it did. But I had been having this fantasy of like fun exhibitionist type hookup that starts between like an artist and a nude model in some like class that they were taking. It just feels like such an erotic scenario and such a vulnerable scenario to be like a nude model in front of a class and then to like fuck in front of the class one of the people that are painting you or whatever. Fun, okay? Was loving and living for this inside my brain. Then I was on Cheex and they quite literally had this. It was already made. Someone did it. If you don't know, Cheex is a sexual wellness platform that offers a ton of educational and erotic content. And there's been so many other fun role plays and fantasies that I've found over on Cheex. I just feel so fixated on this nude model art student fantasy because it feels so fun. Also, I just love exhibitionism in porn. Don't look at me. So anyways, if you guys are interested in hearing what I'm talking about and seeing the film that has clearly struck my fancy, it's over on Cheex. It's called Muse, and I do have a code. It's Maddie 7, and it'll give you 7 days of free access to the Cheex platform. They have a super wide range of content for every taste, and their library is constantly growing on a weekly basis. And again, this is content that you can really feel good about consuming. All of their adult films are based on fair pay, legal and ethical working conditions, which just leads to better, more pleasurable, diverse, consensual sex for us to watch. And actually, it's not just porn they have on there. They also have audio erotica and a pleasure academy for more educational content. So if you're interested in trying out Cheex, you can use my code Maddie7 for 7 days of free, unlimited access to their platform to indulge in all of your deepest desires. I'm gonna throw the link down in the description, test it out, see if you like it, write me back and tell me how right I was to recommend Muse. Remember that name. This blush is just so cutie. Never forget to put it on your nose. Never, ever. Okay, next up, what am I doing? Next up, I'm gonna do highlighter, of which I have 2 different ones. I've got the Merit Beauty Balanced Day Glow Highlighting Balm, which I'm gonna put on first, and then I'm gonna top it with the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Rose Quartz. Ooh, Rose Quartz. Any tips on making being on top more comfy? I'm plus size and it can be a little hard on my hips and knees. Totally feel you on this one. I'm not a huge fan of cowgirl in its like traditional sense. Like when he's laying flat on his back and you're on top. Yeah, listen, that gets tiring really quickly. Not the most fun thing, not super pleasurable for me, to be totally honest. So I prefer to be on top in a different position. For me, and I've long said this, I prefer doing face off, which is a variety of cowgirl, if you will. And basically your partner just has to sit up. They have to sit up and then you go on top. So you're in a sitting position and you're looking at each other face to face, if that makes sense. It's a lot easier because then you can use your arms to support your body while you're riding. And also it's just hotter because you get to make out with them while you're doing it. Cowgirl is fun when it isn't like the most uncomfortable thing ever, you know? So face off to me is like the perfect happy medium because it's comfortable for me, it's sexier, I get to make out with them while I do it. And I feel hotter when I'm in that position because I know I can perform well. You know, it is much easier to grind your hips and like really do the damn thing when you have some additional like upper body support going on. You know, it's gonna be more comfortable for you and also your partner is gonna like it more because when it's more comfortable for you, you can do it for longer and your technique will probably be better overall. Mine for sure is. I don't know, to me, regular cowgirl is like vastly overrated. There are just other better, sexier, more fun variations of cowgirl. Listen, I love being on top, just let's not do cowgirl. boring. So, you know, different strokes for different folks, but for my plus size girls, highly consider Face Off in place of standard cowgirl. All right, now we're getting crazy. Time to prime the eyes. I'm using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. How did I forget the name of this product after using it since I was in the 7th grade? What just happened? I desperately want to know how many girls actually shave their bikini area before hookups. I saw some version of this all over the question box. Some people complaining about having to do this for the rest of their lives. And to that I say, have you not been listening to me? Open your ears when I talk, okay? I think if you lined up a bunch of women ages like 20 to 40, the amount of people that shave before every hookup is gonna get less and less the older that you get. Listen, if you like doing that, that's totally fine. But I fear that more often when you're young, there's a higher percentage of people that are doing it because they feel like they have to do it. Like it's an expectation that they do it, or that it would be less sexy for them to not do it. And then you get a little older and you're like, oh, fuck what a man thinks. Also, I date women now too, so. I actually could not tell you the last time I shaved my pubic area. I don't like to. I prefer to have hair there. It makes me feel way sexier. I find hair sexy in general, both on myself and on other people. I like it. For a while, I would like trim the area from time to time, but to be totally honest with you, I don't remember the last time I did that. Devastatingly though, I do grow less hair than I used to. And I hate it because I used to have the sexiest, most Garden of Eden-esque bush you've ever seen. And now I just feel like it always looks like it's trimmed. It just like stopped growing the way it used to. Damn it, you know? Like I was the one that enjoyed it, that appreciated it for all that it was, and it got stripped away from me. God, the world is so cruel. In my day, I've had sex with plenty of people completely unshaved, and none of them ever cared. In fact, I've only gotten positive feedback from that. I feel like sometimes when you go on the internet and you soak in all of like the dumbest opinions from the worst people you know all in one place, you start convincing yourself that like everybody looks at other people's bodies in that way. But I fear the reality is more that normal people expect normal bodies to do normal things and look normal ways, and normal bodies have hair on them. So as long as you're not fucking someone who's like an absolute fucking loser, they're not gonna care. If you wanna shave, shave. If you don't wanna shave, don't shave. Don't shave just because you think you need to shave or because you think that that is gonna be the most desirable thing. If you wanna do it, do it. And if you don't want to, don't do it. Because there's a lot of us that don't. And I find it very sexy. Before I get started on my eyeshadow, I'm gonna do some fake freckles with the Buble and Rudy Berry Freckled Pen. This is the absolute best product for getting very natural looking fake freckles. I use it like literally every single day, and it's better than any other freckle product on the market, I'll say it. Why do you feel like you're not the perfect bisexual? What were your experiences? I don't know if my like fear of not being the perfect bisexual came from my own experiences more than they just came from like my observation of other people's experiences on the internet specifically. To be totally clear, I talked about this a little bit in a podcast episode I did back in December, so that's where this question is coming from. For those of you that don't know, you gotta get over and listen to Emotionally Online. That's where we get into it every single week, besties. But I never felt like I had to be the perfect bisexual in my real life. I never felt like there was a pressure to around my friends or people that knew me in real life. I have been publicly interested in dating women since I was 18. But I didn't talk about it on the internet until this year. And again, that had nothing to do with how I felt or any pressures I felt in my real life, because honestly, I didn't feel any type of pressure in my real life in this department. I just felt like I had witnessed so many people talk about their bisexuality online, and the reaction that they got made me feel like I never wanted to talk about it on the internet. Obviously, this idea of the perfect bisexual doesn't exist and is inherently kind of biphobic. Like, for so long, I had said to myself that I didn't want to talk about my bisexuality on the internet until I had sex with a woman. Because I was like, I don't know, anticipating the people that would hear me say that I'm bisexual and then need proof from me, which is ridiculous and is something that you see across the board that people do to queer people in general, as if we ever needed to prove that we were attracted to men. I talked about liking men on the internet long before I ever had my first kiss, let alone had sex for the first time, and nobody ever was like, prove it. How do you know if you like men if you've never had sex with one? And also, this felt heightened by the fact that I became comfortable with the fact that I was attracted to women much later than I felt comfortable with the fact that I was attracted to men. So at the time when I would have started feeling comfortable talking about my bisexuality, at that point I had already been talking openly about my sexual relationships with men for years. And so I felt like people extra would have wanted proof from me since they already had so much proof of me liking men. I know it's stupid, it's dumb. As if I owe anybody proof of who I'm attracted to, it's stupid. And then I just felt nervous that if I did tell the internet, that people were gonna start keeping track of how many men I date versus how many women I date, and making sure it was a clean, even split down the middle to really prove my bisexuality, even though nobody experiences bisexuality that way. It's just like totally fucking made up. But that's what I mean when I say this like pressure to be the perfect bisexual and the way that people treat bisexuality and queerness in general online. Like, I know that people are gonna want to put me in a very neat and clean and easy to understand box for them. And the reality is that I know I don't fit into one. So being open with my friends and sharing the messy parts of exploring your sexuality has always just been met with other people being like, oh my God, I feel the same way. But so often the internet like just doesn't treat you the same way that people in your real life will treat you. To be honest with you, for a while, it was just like a sensitive topic for me. And I didn't want to deal with having to read those kinds of responses because I knew they were gonna come. And it was funny because I always said that I thought once I had sex with a woman, I would feel like this weight was lifted off because I'm like, they can't get me now. They can't criticize me now. And then after I did have sex with a woman, none of my fears about saying it to the internet went away. They just evolved into something else. So anyways, now I don't give a fuck. And if you want me to be this like weird non-human projection of what you think bisexuality should be, then you can go fuck yourself. All right, it's eyeshadow time, baby. I use this fucking brick of an eyeshadow palette, and I might be the only person that's ever bought this eyeshadow palette ever. Because it's all different shades of purple, and I just can't imagine many people other than me need to use this. So you know what? There's an audience for everything, baby, and don't you fucking forget it. I just kind of take whatever purples are speaking to me that day, but I usually go for the cooler toned purples, and I usually layer a lighter shade over top to really give it that pastel-y look. How do I know if my vagina looks weird compared to others? When I saw this, I was like, I need to respond to this because, oh my God, whoever told you that there is a right or wrong way for your vulva to look is wrong and is a misogynist. Everyone's vulva looks different and they all look fucking wonderful. And anyone that's in the presence of you and your vulva is fucking blessed to be there. And if they have a goddamn thing to say about it, they need to be kicked the fuck out anyways. Instead of asking yourself, how do I know if my vulva looks weird in comparison to other people's? When that thought comes into your head, ask yourself, where did I learn that there was a right or wrong way for my vulva to look? Where did this insecurity come from? Is this something I really want to dedicate brain space to or ponder in a literal sense? Are you asking this question because you legitimately wanted an answer from me? Are you asking this question because you really thought that I was gonna get on camera and say, here's the right or wrong way for your vulva to look? Of course I was never gonna say that because there isn't one. I don't know, you know me. Always wanting to get in the habit of questioning where our insecurities come from and pushing back on them a little bit. It does make me so sad that that's something that people feel insecure about though. And listen, there are some crazy fucking loser douche misogynists out there that I'm sure have made people feel so terrible about the way that their vulva looks. But they're wrong. They are wrong. They are losers and they deserve no pussy at all. And let us not forget that. Everyone's looks different and there's no right or wrong way to have one. And if anyone tells you that there is, cut them loose. I don't know, to me, this is similar to the pubic hair thing. Like, yeah, this matters to like the worst people you've ever met, but any normal fucking person that is worth you spending your time with does not care about this. All right, next up, we're gonna do some eyeliner. I use the Rare Beauty gel eyeliner on top, and then on bottom, I think I also use Rare Beauty. This like Rare Beauty black pencil liner, or sometimes lately I've been using the Tarte Fake Wake white eyeliner. I can't tell if it's too like uncanny valley for me. I love it sometimes, and then sometimes when I'm doing it, I look at myself, I'm like, you look uncanny valley with the white eyeliner. So we're up in the air on that one still. Don't I just feel like I look so cute in this little friggin' purple baby doll dress. Like, this is the American Girl doll I wanted. I actually never had an American Girl doll. I never cared for those bitches. What romantic gestures are reserved for lovers only? This is an interesting question, and I'm gonna give you a very annoying answer and say none. I guess I just don't believe in looking at love in very black and white ways. I guess to me, the line between certain kinds of love are not all that defined. Like, the difference between romantic love and platonic love is just like not super different to me. It's just more a matter of like definition and agreed upon parameters of the relationship, you know what I mean? But the love I'm feeling is not necessarily more elite or better in one than the other, if that makes sense. I just don't believe in like the hierarchy of love. I believe that all love is powerful, and I think that loving people and what it means and how it feels and what those boundaries are like different for everybody. So no, I don't think there's any gestures that are reserved specifically for romantic love. At least not in a way where it would be appropriate for me to tell you what they are, right? I think we all have our own parameters and boundaries, but overall there are not feelings and experiences I hold myself back from just because I don't have a romantic partner. There's a world of love to experience. I don't think that being in a relationship should be the prerequisite to getting to lean in and indulge in all of it. All right, now for our finishing touches, I will be throwing on a random pair of eyelashes that I've been wearing for 2 weeks straight. Everyone always asks me where I get my eyelashes from, and I can't stress this enough. They are like a $4 pack that I get off Amazon and rewear a million times over. I think it's what looks the best. I do not think you need to be spending hella money on fake eyelashes. I just don't. I think that the cheap ones look fine and you can wear them over and over again, and it honestly makes them look better. Over on my podcast, we have been doing some collaboration work. Yes, we have. February, we were hard at work on a Lover Girls Worldwide playlist, me and the residents of Lover Girls Worldwide, obviously. And we crafted what I believe is one of the best playlists. I listen to it damn near every single day. I think it is just like the most adorable, sweet thing ever. The question for the playlist was, of course, what song sounds like falling in love to you? And people from all over the friggin' globe submitted what songs sound like falling in love to them, and we created this beautiful, perfect collaborative playlist that is still accepting submissions. I do have a submission box set up that I am checking every now and again and adding in the suggestions that I like. This past week on the podcast, I started talking about our next collaborative effort, and that is, of course, the Yearning Girls Worldwide playlist. Yes, the yearners of the world need something to listen to while they're yearning, okay? While we're sitting in the wanting, the longing, the needing, the yearning, what's playing in the background? What song feels in your chest like yearning for the crush of a fucking lifetime? Let me fucking know, because I am building this playlist and it's going to be phenomenal. I'll leave both submission boxes, both the Yearning Girls Worldwide and the Lover Girls Worldwide submission down below. Just make sure you look at what playlist you're submitting for, because it's very important we keep these things organized, okay? Something about me is I hate a matte lip product, and honestly, I hate super pigmented stuff on my lips. I prefer like a very sheer lip balm with a little bit of tint going on. So these Summer Fridays lip butter balms are what I'm wearing 9 out of 10 times. It's just more comfortable to me, and honestly, with the purple eyeshadow, I don't really need to do much with my lips anyways. Finishing touch, I'm just gonna go in with the One Size Until Dawn setting spray. And this is it. This is my everyday makeup look that is really only everyday for me, and for anyone else this would be a lot. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. This was fun, even though my legs and lower back are hurting like a bitch right now from sitting in crisscross applesauce for an hour and a half. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, see what I'm up to, you can find me at Maddie Dragsbaek. And also, I do have a podcast, as you know, Emotionally Online, that gets published every single Friday. So come hang out, spill your guts, share your secrets. We have a lot of fun over there, and I would love to see you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video.